I have found it at last. The Angle Centre of Paris. Everything here is Angles. Leah Angles, Jane Ailes, Cici Angles. Angles, not Anglais, Angles. I think this must be the French for nails. And frankly, we are in a very poor part of Paris, and it's lovely. I love it. I feel very at home here. I'm staying here for a couple of nights. It's all a bit run down, as you can see, a bit battered, but it gets by. And the one thing that we must have in our life, if we're a bit down and out, is we must have our nails done. I've thought better of it. I haven't had my nails done yet. I'll have them done later. I've just had coffee and croissant in this corner cafe. And I'm going to investigate, see if this church is open. It's a funny thing. After Santiago Cathedral, where I stomped out in a huff and vowed never to go in a Catholic cathedral or Catholic church again, yes, it's true, I still find myself naturally wandering, though without genuflect or crossing myself, exploring local churches. It's the quiet, I suppose, and there's a lot to be said for being steeped in centuries of quiet and reverence. My favourite band of the moment, which I am grateful to Steve Collington for introducing me to at a summer festival, is Danny and the Champions of the World. One of my favourite songs. They're all becoming favourites actually. It's really growing on me. The new album that came out in October. We're going to see them together in Leeds in March next year. Looking forward to that. Anyway, there's one song called Sooner or Later, and there's a lyric in it which I absolutely love, but it's quite negative in a way. It says, I will sing it and I'll edit it out because it'll be too bad, but sooner or later we all get found out. And as you can tell, it puts a smile on my face every time I sing it to myself. There's such relief, it seems to me, about getting found out. There's a sort of childish naughtiness in all of us, I think, even as adults, perhaps especially as adults, where we think we've got away with it. No matter how old we are in life, we think we've got away with it. We've got away with fessing up that we haven't a clue what we're doing. We've got away with pretending to be grown up, and nobody's called us out on it. We've been found out to be not the sort of people that we make out to be. There's another song on the album, and it's called Talking a Good Game. and that makes me smile as well. Haven't we learnt to talk a good game? Lest we be found out to be shallow and indecisive and lonely. I'm having a really good, deep, intimate conversation with a good friend of mine about loneliness. In fact, to assuage our feelings of loneliness, we've actually got a WhatsApp video chat this afternoon at 5:30 to compare our loneliness quotients. So what is it about the relief of being found out? There's nothing left to cover up, my friends. We're the actual Hebrew word sin doesn't mean you're a piece of shit. It actually means, oh, try hard. No, it doesn't even mean try harder. It means, oh, you didn't quite make the bullseye. You didn't quite hit the mark, did you there? But it's a sort of pat on the shoulder. Well, don't. It's like, don't worry about it. We're all, nobody's perfect. Well, I want to add to that and say, not only is nobody perfect, but nobody is born a sinner. This is not in the Bible, actually. This is in the writing of St. Augustine, which is three and a half centuries after Jesus walked in Galilee. It's an ex post facto construction, original sin. And as my Guatemalan shaman woman emphasized with me in India, on the rooftop in India, she said, Phil, you are innocent. So I may have been found out, but now I'm innocent, and so are you. I'm going to go and see if this church is open. Oh dearie, 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 dearie me. This church is not going to be open anytime soon. It's a busted church. Right in the centre of, to be honest, a down at heel part of Paris. The Seine is just to the left, and these high-rise flats. And I notice everybody's paying in, well, most people are paying in cash and coppering up. Oh dear. It's a bit down at heel, this part of Paris, but I feel at home. You know, over my coffee and croissant this morning, I had the thought to myself, you know, if you're poor, you share what you have, which is your poverty. And everybody knows what it's like not to have any spare cash. And you can see it in people's faces as well as pockets and the way they behave, and the lined faces, and yet heart of gold and mostly cheerful. There were an old couple chatting to each other with the waiter at the bar, behind the bar. And when you've got nothing, or as C6 Steve says on his first album, I started off with nothing and I've still got most of it left. When you know you've got nothing, and there's always somebody else who's got more than you, so in comparison you've got nothing. I noticed the Murdoch Succession drama is still unfolding in the courts in Nevada. And compared to other glories of this universe, they've got nothing. But no, I'm not, goodness me, I'm not going to sully my little videos with mention of the Murdochs. But so when you're poor, or when you or you've got nothing, you're on common ground. You're on equal terms, and I like that. When you've got something, or spare cash, or a nice place, or a pension, it becomes a sort of competition, or it becomes a status game, and we all do it because we've been taught it. We've been grown up. Most of us can distinguish between any two brands of motor car, because we have such a highly evolved sense of design, and it's all about status in my view. You know, there's not a car in our culture is not about getting from A to B comfortably or safely. So don't get me going about SUVs now. That's another video. Look at the colour of the bark of this tree. It's like the markings on the sleek dog. So when you've got surplus, one tends to compare yourself with others, but when you've got nothing, you're all the same. And there's another line in this song, Sooner or Later. I'll put a link to it in the description so you can listen to it. It's great. It says, "Don't tell me we're not the same. Don't tell me we're not playing the same game," or something like that. And this idea that we've been found out, to me, makes me breathe a huge sigh of relief. I don't know about you, but I've been playing the game of being someone all of my adult life. Hopefully somebody half decent, sure. I would also say, in my earlier days, I wanted to be successful, but defined in other people's eyes. Well, that's a recipe for disaster, frankly. Don't do that. No. With my son in London, he gave me a brand new saying, as well as what I've picked up from Peter, "Live and let live," which I think is a good one. And my son says, "Dad, you do you, ... in brackets, and let everybody else do themselves." That's a good philosophy of living, I think. You've been found out, but you are innocent. Cheers. I've been found out. I've been very unkind, really, to this little part of the south of Paris called Choisy-le-Roi, and called it Down at Heel. Well, in its heyday, it was a posh part of Paris, and this is a very famous artisan bakery, boulangerie, which was built in 1889 and has been a boulangerie here since 1904. So what do I know? I know nothing. I've been found out again. I think it's obligatory now as a penance to buy a delicious pastry, don't you? How lovely, absolutely lovely. I want one of those, I want one of those, I want one of those. Oh dear. So you see, there is gold dust everywhere you look if you go looking. Not so much down at heel as well-heeled, I would say. You see, I have to bring myself up short. I know I'm innocent, but I have been found out. This is a great relief. So my new philosophy of life, which I'm happy to share with you, is you are innocent, but you have been found out and exonerated. And you can buy French tarts. That's it. That's all I know.